within the LGBTQIA community, there are subcultures, right? There's the lesbian subculture, there's the gay male subculture, there's the bisexual subculture. There are subcultures of BIPOC queer folks, and there are subcultures of disabled queer folks, and etc. But the thing is that for all of these subcultures, there are particular risk factors related to aging. I think about many of the BIPOC queer folks that I know who often feel a sense of isolation from both of their communities. From the gay community, for being BIPOC, they feel isolated, don't have as large a community. From their communities of color, where there may be either not homophobia now maybe, but there was enough in the past that fear is still there and that reticence. So that's really, that adds a whole other layer of isolation risk. Disabled lesbians and gay men have a very small community of support and have a hard time accessing one another for a number of reasons. And often are, because disabled folks are often so invisible to start with. And unless they have a strong partner advocate or something like that, it's easy to not even notice that they're queer because they're only seen as disabled. You know, another thing I think about is what I call subtleties, that we live in a time when lesbian and gay issues have been very prominent for the last couple of decades. And the community at large has really come a long way in understanding with a broad paintbrush what the legal issues are and what the discrimination is like or has been like for specifically lesbian and gay men. And now we're looking more at trans folks and genderqueer folks. But there are all kinds of other issues that are more subtle. So for instance, people may totally respect the fact that I need to have equal rights or that I have the right to marry a spouse of the same gender. But they may not get that there are all kinds of cultural aspects to being a lesbian that make my life different than theirs. They may not understand that when they put on a soundtrack of songs from my generation for an exercise class, that is not my music, that it's heterosexually based music, that it's not what I listened to, that I found alternative women's music that I listened to that is the soundtrack of my life. That's a subtlety that most people don't get.